All right, here we go again. Buckle up. So they scam their own bosses. They never had to do this. All they do is let me be, and I work. The thing they engaged in the Marshal Service is to get me to just not ever talk about it again. Right? It worked. My mind was fogged. I couldn't remember a lot of stuff, but because they stayed there, it all came back. So the operators are scammers, even scamming their own bosses. But I suspect their bosses are cucked. It's like Trump. If Trump uses them, he's cucked, right, by the operators, if he's using them. And I believe they are. They're same people Biden used to set Trump up. But of course, you'll tell yourself something else because you're the heroes. Just like those deputy U.S. Marshal scammers and the Marshal scammers, right? But we got money. Keep saying that. Because case in point, when you say that, you actually prove what I say. So the Soviets are using their PSYOP. Well, if Trump wants it bad enough, again, he'll trade off any form of credibility for it. Again, that's what they're doing to him. Well, we want the economic data to look rosy, so you fire that woman right in front of everybody in the world. And then you change the economic data. And say, oh, this is the real economic data. Well, if she was a liar, she did, the PSYOP worked. Everybody believes you're a liar. Thank you, Larry. So even if you tell the truth, now people are like, well, what is the truth? Again, you're not running for office. You're in the presidency. That's why you couldn't take it the second time. Because you don't know how to run for it when you're not. All you know how to do is villainize and demonize the other person. Well, that doesn't work when you're in office because people hold you accountable for what's happening. Now, the ICE thing, that's never going to hurt you. I mean, it hurt you as far as some of the. I couldn't believe you had actually a large chunk of the Latino vote. Right. And the Arabic vote. Right. So it did hurt you there, but it's not going to hurt you for the core vote of U.S. citizens. And if you do change how representation works based upon a new census, which I don't think, based upon this time period now that we're in, you can do it, you get the census going. By 2026, you're not going to get a new census, right, pushed to redistribute the representation. They'll keep it tied up in court. Right. If you could do it in that time period. Now, quite possibly the next presidency you could do it, but I don't even know if that could save you. Because obviously the Democratic states are going to do a bunch of stuff too. Right. Again, you had Texas anyway. I guess there was a chance you could have lost Texas. It was slipping. But what they did is they made it tough for people that were liberal minded to live in Texas, and they all left. And they went to California, and they went to Detroit. What you are losing, though, some of, because you're deep state in Texas, is some people that were conservatives that weren't living in the new age of the beast, where the deep state runs every community. Sometimes it's Democrat, sometimes it's Republican, but yet they enrich, because they have money. You understand how that works? Like, Trump could give a shit if you're in a deep state as long as you're money. Right? And you don't affect his life and his family's life. So you see how that works. Nobody's fighting the deep state because they have become the people with money. Again, it's the CIA that arranged that with the CCP and all that. I mean, the Soviets set it up. The Soviets hoped to control it, and they're trying to take it back. But they lost control of it, but they don't care. They made the United States a piece of shit. It rewards criminality with offices in church. Right. Just the same way it was in the Soviet Union. So right now, they're taking Trump to that next level of accepting the Soviet Union, as well as his negotiators and everyone else. But it's not going to work. Europe is out of it, right? Their PSYOP's going to fail. Now, the United States might, again, who was it? I forget who said it, it's Rubio, I think it was. He said, yeah, we'll supply all the weapons, but somebody else has got to pay, so we might make money off it. Which means it'll change the whole, Trump wants to be the peacemaker. He wants his Nobel Peace Prize, but it's probably already scuttled. That CCP cert just scuttled it. Because Trump's not in control of it. Trump can say, no, we won't pay for it, but then the rich Europeans will pay for it, right? Which they own their governments. Even some of the Arabic people would probably end up helping pay for it. Right? It's oil. Like I told you, the thing that took over the United Kingdom was oil money. Right? It's not Islam; it's oil money. It sounds like Islam's taking over. Well, yeah, they're Islamic and they are taking over, but it's oil money. So again, let's be real about who actually is doing what. Yeah, Trump's part of oil money. Right? He likes the oil money. So again, let's just be real about things. Well, it's time to be real. You attack my life again. We're going to be real. Oh, I repented. Yeah, I repented. I'm still not doing exactly what I did before, but you attacked again. What did you think? You were going to attack me and you're going to cuck me? With Miss Sex Fiend in the church, who's got an office, and Mr. Sex. They just brought up something. I don't know who's in here with me, but the idea is the man may have tried to sexualize me, but because I'm not gay, I didn't feel it. Right. Right. The man might be an incubi. Now, it doesn't mean that they have sex with anybody, but they're obsessed with altering another person's sex by projecting their genitalia. Right. I don't have a personal will. When I woke up, you can't have one when you're asleep, and when you wake up, I did what I call parameters. Hashem and I call parameters. I invoke the fact that I can't do that kind of stuff. I can't move my will. So what that is when you will somebody to sex, you might turn that person on, and your sexuality attaches to them. Right? She knows. She projected her genitalia. That's how she made a lot of her money, most likely. And she may have slept with people to get where she did in life. If she's CIA, yeah, that's how she did it. No doubt. A woman look like that, I'm sure she's slept with the junior Brennans and stuff like that. That's all they know, man. Government's like an animal, humping everybody's leg. And then they try to turn their victims into that. Right. And then point at the victim. And not look at us, we're the ones that catch these people. You're the ones that actually create them out of thin air and destroy the healing that we apply to that. And now it's in a church. Well, your church is fake, all of you. Do I think Oakes is part of it? I don't know. It came up that he was. But hey, we'll find out. Somebody will find out. Might take 10 years, but we'll find out. That's how it works, all of you. Thanks, Larry. You've already sent like APBs out to the synagogues. If I show up, they have to call them. Right. Not going to hurt anybody. And they know it. They know they set me up in Indiana. And now they're ready to set me up in a synagogue. And just keep writing it. Right. Just keep writing it. You'll go to hell for it, all of you. You sold your souls to Satan, and now you'll go to hell for it, all of you. What you all do is you create a world where everybody can't win. But God could create a world where everybody could win. Why? Because somebody might have more money than you. It's insane. But yet you would have more money. But you can't deal with it because somebody you don't like might have money. They're not making anybody safe. They keep protecting this guy. Well, you just saw it. Now, the funny part is Kansas now realizes what's actually going on. That's all fake and fraud. And they are interfering with religion. They're devils, man. Okay, so they don't, and I'm not telling you they don't look at porn, and I'm not telling you that they don't have sex with whoever they want to have sex with, whenever they want to have sex, because they're protected by this thing, right? But in your mind, they're not the bad person because they don't maybe have sex outside of wedlock or look at porn, but yet they're the devils that cause that. They aren't testing people. These are spells, strong curses and strong spells. Remember, I'm a son of God. I'm an angel of the Most High God. I'm a God. So this is the only reason I've prevailed on this planet. I'd be like the rest of them. Look how fast John Luna just went. Boop. He's a guy whose wife was a cardiologist. He's a college graduate, assistant U.S. attorney. It's bigger than a little deputy marshal. Right. Look how fast he died. I kicked him to the side of the road and kept going. And he spent millions and millions of dollars hiring people to drug me and everything else. Still going. Yeah, I'll die. And they'll go, oh, we got him. Like he's with God. He already died. Right. People die, all of you. In fact, I didn't even know that people were dying that were doing this to me. There's a rumor that some of the 7 people that overseas got killed by the bomb, like an inside rumor, by the bomb, even though I helped them with it. I didn't even know at the time. But apparently there were people that were part of the thing that came after my life. So this type of thing happens. Like, oh, mine's responsible. Mine's responsible for your death. Right. But it's God telling you to stop, all of you. Right. Oh, no, we're with God, see? Remember that spell, the director was a Roman Catholic. Yeah, remember that. Right. So that's why you saw those women. This is their game they play. But again, they have different effects they're looking for. Right. Spell doinked her way to that position, at least when she was younger. Right. Right. That's how it works in government. Believe you me. You don't want to believe it. You don't want to see it, but it's there. It's glaring. Right. That's how they took over. Now, Hexes is in the other direction a little bit too far, but, he's got a point. They need to be kicked to the side. Not too careful. I'll take women down so far that even your star player in DHS, no one will lose her job. Correct. I'm not anti-women. Women are anti-me because they work for Satan. You know what? The majority of these women are fag hags. They get off on making people gay. And making people gay doesn't mean the detective. That's plain English. Forcing people to be gay. And remember, every time I say making, when my intention is to say forcing, you all get fucked increasingly. The word fuck is a curse word. They use it around me and about me. Right. Just because they won't be honest. See, I get points for being honest because I use the real language in the open instead of going, praise be Jesus in the LDS church. When you walk by your little, fuck that guy. I guarantee that blonde-headed guy said, fuck that guy. I guarantee he said that. Correct. They're getting closer to you? Starting to feel uncomfortable? Because now the other cops know who you are? I guarantee you within the next 10 years, you're going to find the sex cult and the other stuff that's in the LDS. It's not going to be fully bustable because they never go after the deep state at that level. But there's going to be investigations and prosecutions that they can't fight with the deep state. Right. You use your church to sexualize a disabled 61-year-old man that's been isolated by your criminal cronies and members of your criminal conspiracy for at least 25 years, but it's actually been like 35 years because they were slowly destroying. So we moved into a neighborhood and they attacked my wife because they wanted to get her first so that they could get her to do me. And I thought she was crazy, and I thought these people were just, I thought they were a little bit heavy-handed, but, I said to my wife, when these things happen, you just kind of roll with it. You don't have to socialize with them or anything, but we live in this house, and, we can't have a fight with the neighbors. Right. Oh, well, the people across the street that were Italian, I pegged them as mafia, but, what are you going to do? I can't run I tried to investigate them, but, I would have taken it to Glenn Fine, and I just didn't feel that the Inspector General was somebody that was valid. And that may have been their psyop, but, right. So some of the people who went after my wife were most likely made their money. I mean, they're in the corporate world. Obviously, the corporate world is at times run by mafia. Right. But they're deep state mafia, so you can't do anything. Correct. There is no why would you do it to me? You did it to me for money. Now sometimes they pay you cash, sometimes they pay you over your lifetime. Sometimes it's the guy you work for your $100,000 a year and your $400,000 house. Right. And when you took that job, you knew there were things he would ask you to do. Because he asked you to do it and then you got the job, or he asked you to do it and you were promoted. Right. Again, I speak well of Chief Donovan, I speak well of Jim Spicer because they're not as bad as the rest of you. But they're corrupt. Right. Or worse, should I say. Chief Donovan asked me to do Chris Fiore. That was corruption. You were not allowing that man to do his job because somebody targeted him. And again, he worked for DHS, did a great job for DHS. I forget what he was doing there. He had like a senior position or a senior position. So again, DHS, people that know Chris Fiore know that that the Mars service is bullshit. Right. Because Chris Fiore is a great guy, did a great job. Right. Although he believes in Roman Catholicism. But I guess there's no choice, he's Italian, right? Well, it's a fake religion. Sorry, Chris, it's fake. No, he tried to kill Chris. Made him sick. But he was able to get back up because, his wife was a good wife. And he was later in life. He was already a supervisor. Right. He was already a supervisor, already had his money. Right. Had his house. Right. It doesn't matter. They just pick one person. I've probably pissed off some crooks, but, they pick one person and they do it to that person, and that's how they recruit everybody else. Right. Because you don't want to be like that slap, do you? Right. Agreed. Or in, Jonathan Luna's case, they killed you. I'm hoping to get a death off of me, but it didn't work. No, I never had a day of reprieve. The best thing they can tell is everybody else that I'm a sex criminal that got off the hook that essentially they put in prison life. That's how they explain it. But meanwhile, the sex criminals are the people they are and the people that pay them. So they're very angry because if I were to ever make it somewhere, I might actually investigate them and arrest them. Right. So that's what made them angry. But again, you all know it's almost impossible for that to happen. So again, it's them fantasizing, right, so they could actually try to murder somebody and make some money. There's some pretty big people in government, including Slickster and Little Girl, that could have actually murdered Jonathan Luna. But I guarantee they were never investigated at that level. Right. If anybody did it, it's either Jonathan Luna's girlfriend or one of those people like Slickster and Little Girl that were part of that thing. Right. But most likely they just pushed him to suicide. Drugged him, I'm sure of it. Slickster's capable of murder. Little Girl was capable of murder. Agreed. They may have. I mean, it's the scam, right? The murderer is not the murderer, and the victims of murder or attempted murder are the murderers. Shift the cold case this way and that way. Well, everything I've ever said has been proven. The Gilgo Beach case was manipulated. Question is, did the Gilgo Beach murderer actually pay those cops off? And they ran around using that to try to extort people. If the judge doesn't do what they want, they say, make him realize that he's under investigation for Gilgo Beach murders. Right. As long as the judge rules in their favor, which I'm sure the Trump administration is trying right now, but it's not working because once you go past a certain point, you start losing people that just want to have a good life because they realize that at any given moment, that good life could deteriorate. So you're in that mode right now where the deep state is kind of losing its force. Right. The takeover, the worst thing you could have did was take over the House and the Senate, really. Again, it actually also gave you confidence to commit larger crimes that are prosecutable if the next presidency shifts. Right. And that's really what's happening. I mean, it's more likely that you'll only do 4 years and get thrown out. Right. Because people are swayed against the incumbent. Why? Because they don't have a good life. They want a better life. And it might be that they want a life that is unattainable for them. But the science works. The psychology works. The people in the church, living this life are operating people to force them to become sexual. And yet they get paid and they get positioned in church. But I'm not crazy, and they didn't. Another scam they have is they only did it so that I would say it to discredit me. Bullshit. That's who you are. That's who you've been since the 90s, all of you, at least. And you're sick. And you will go to hell, every last one of you. They run around pointing at the people they victimize. Oh, that person's going to hell because they're a sinner. But you're the devils that caused that. Bible's clear about that. Thanks, sir. Well, stay peaceful. Praise God in all that you do. Praise God.